The purpose of this mutual fund video is to show how easy the mutual fund program is to use. The screen is made up of two graphs. The top graph, the moving average graph, and the bottom graph, the momentum graph. We will be looking at the moving average graph only for this presentation. The mutual fund we will be using is the RIDEX Large Cap Growth Fund. The ticker symbol is RYLGX. The year we will be looking at is 2010. Looking at the moving average graph, there are two lines we want to watch. The blue line, the moving average line, and the black line, the current price line. We are comparing the fund's price to the fund's moving average over time. We won't go into how the moving average price is calculated at this time. We will just accept the moving average line as it appears. There are only two moving average rules. Rule number one: when the black price line crosses the blue moving average line in an upward direction, that is a signal to invest. Note the position of the highlighted area. As long as the price line stays above the blue moving average line, stay invested. Rule number two: when the black price line crosses the blue moving average line in a downward direction, that is a signal to sell. Note the position of the highlighted area. Looking at the RIDEX Large Cap Growth Fund, we find the black price line has crossed the blue moving average line in an upward direction on February 24th, 2010. Note the position of the highlighted area. The price of the fund at that point was $24.34. Note the position of the highlighted area. Next, we find the black price line has crossed the blue moving average line in a downward direction on May 4th, 2010. Note the position of the highlighted area. The price of the fund at that point was $26.32. Note the highlighted area at that point. Doing a manual calculation, we subtract the selling price of $26.32 from the buying price of $24.34 to realize a dollar gain of $1.98. That results in a percentage gain for this first position of 8.13% in 69 days. We notice the black price line crosses the blue moving average line in an upward direction again on September 1st, 2010, at a price of $25. It has crossed the blue moving average line in a downward direction on March 10th, 2011, at a price of $31.67. Doing a manual calculation, we subtract the selling price of $31.67 from the buying price of $25 to realize a dollar gain for the second position of $6.67. That results in a percentage gain of 26.68% in 189 days. Now let's put this information into a performance spreadsheet. By entering these dates and prices, the spreadsheet will automatically calculate the dollar gain, the percentage gain, the cumulative dollar gain, the cumulative percentage gain, and the new investment value. Following the highlighted areas in sequence, we see that the beginning date of February 24th, 2010, with a buying price of $24.34. We see a selling date of May 4th, 2010, with a selling price of $26.32. For the second investment period, we see a beginning date of September 1st, 2010, with a beginning price of $25. We see a selling date of March 10th, 2011, and a selling price of $31.67. As we enter the information for position number 1, we find that in 69 days we realized a $1.98 gain and an 8.13% percentage gain. As we enter the information for position number 2, we find that in 189 days we realized a $6.67 gain and a 26.68% percentage gain. The compounded gain for the two positions was 36.99% in 258 days. We were invested for 70% of the time. We were out of the market about 30% of the time. During this period, the market was either flat or going down. To recap, we have seen what makes up the moving average graph. We have learned how to identify where and when the black price line has crossed the blue moving average line in both an upward and downward direction. We have learned how to find the date and price at this point. We have learned how to enter the information into the investment spreadsheet in order to view the results of buying and selling at these points. This is basically all there is to using North of the Blue to manage your investment account.